Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. It is Tuesday, January 28th, 2014. I'm Leanne McAdoo, and here's a look at what's coming up tonight.
Tonight, Obama warms up to using executive orders. The police state gets ready for Super Bowl 48. And we sit down to talk to anti-TSA activist John Corbett about his new TSA pre-check status. All this and more on the InfoWars Nightly News.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, fellow Americans. 51 years ago, John F. Kennedy declared to this chamber that the Constitution makes us not rivals for power, but partners for progress.
Oh man, that was Obama just 1 year ago, quoting JFK, mind you. Those definitely were not his words, because the tone of his administration has changed entirely in just 365 days. Tonight, we can't await the State of the Regime address when Obama announces his assertion of his unilateral agenda and lets the country know that it's moving into a dictatorship. That's right. The man that once criticized George W. Bush for abusing his executive authority will now go ahead. He's admitted that he's warmed up to the idea. That's according to his White House advisor, John Podesta, who says that when Obama believes he has the authority to make progress without action by Congress, he will do it. Now, he says there's a lot of authority that's vested to Obama under the laws of the United States, and he thinks that Obama's really looking forward to a year of action and to tonight when he gives his State of the Union speech. It'll be a breakthrough year where he can lay out some of these practical, concrete ideas that will get people on board a stable economic footing and see their wages going up for the first time in a long time. And while they're leaving us powerless to fight against any of these pandemics that might be popping up, they're also leaving us powerless to take any money out of the bank. We've been previously reporting that they've been doing a lot of capital controls. Just Saturday, it emerged that HSBC was restricting large cash withdrawals from the UK up to £5,000. Now, Russians' MyBank, which Bloomberg reports that MyBank is one of Russia's top 200 lenders by assets, has introduced a complete ban on cash withdrawals until next week. So, of course, here we go, just another form of capital controls. So we've got Obama announcing his dictatorship tonight. The bubonic plague is set to be released, and FEMA's preparing for motor coach evacuation. There are capital controls. You can't take your money out of the bank. But while all this is going on, all anyone can talk about is the Illuma Grammys. And now this week, it's the Super Bowl. And I guarantee no one is going to be there worrying about this mass distraction and how the world stage has been set for all eyes to be on how the U.S. is fighting against terrorism. Just take a look at what's going to be happening there at Super Bowl Central. They've already declared it a level 1 national security event, which basically that means Homeland Security's Presidential Directive 5 kicks in, which means the feds will take the lead in any security operations in New Jersey and New York. Incredible. And then the priority order for any possible threats would include a suicide bombing, vehicles laden with explosives, or, of course, another mass shooting. In addition to these traditional terrorists, officials are anticipating the possibility of hacktivists with political and social messages to take advantage of social media to spread disinformation and sow confusion, much like the Syrian Electronic Army hacked into CNN's Twitter and sowed mass confusion about the al-Qaeda backing the rebels in Syria. But they also go on to say that they're going to be x-raying every single thing that comes in and out of the stadium, the food, the seat cushions, every beverage, every piece of merchandise. And of course, they're going to violate the Fourth Amendment by doing searches on the trains to and from the stadium on random passersby, anyone that's going to and from. They'll have canines everywhere. And that's in addition to the air exercises and the Navy patrolling the waters there. I mean, it is going to be a madhouse. But go ahead, keep your eyes on the game. That's all that matters. While the real game is being played out here by the globalists, they are using this as a mass distraction to go ahead and assert their total authoritarianism while we just sit back and take it. And just to prove how contrived this TSA is, just security theater. It's not there to protect us from terrorism. So as New York is setting up a major surveillance grid to spy on everyone through their cameras, the State Department of Education is now setting up a program that will spy on your children from preschool until the age of 20. Now, this was developed by the New York State Education Department. It was funded by the federal government, and it's promoted by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's the P20 Data Collection Program. It allows government entities to share and access records for every student in the state. The overall goal is going to be monitoring individuals from childhood to death. Now, it's going to allow New York State Education Department and other agencies to link data without the need for agencies to unnecessarily add new regulations or seek legal policies to collect data. So they don't want to have to create any unnecessary new laws or go through that pesky constitutional legal system to spy on you. Now, the program was named P20 to indicate the tracking of students from pre-kindergarten to around age 20 when they enter the workforce. Now, the idea for such a database existed as far back as 2002 when the New York Times reported that the Pentagon wanted to analyze Americans' educational, criminal, financial, medical, and travel records in order to profile every citizen in the country. And then, of course, this came to fruition in the past year via Obamacare when the Federal Data Services Hub was rolled out. And that is a comprehensive database which provides federal entities real-time electronic access to the dossiers of any American. It's compiled with information from the IRS, the Department of Homeland Security, the Justice Department, and others. So there you have it. And you thought you were just getting some free health care. But now that they've got all these cameras set up around New York, it's not just the trendies on the East Coast. The trendies on the West Coast have got their cameras, and for the greater good, the authorities now want them to allow them access 24/7 to their home surveillance cameras.
But Leanne, who watches the watchers? You're in here doing a great job. We're about to have our live coverage of the State of the Union, but they actually say it's for the greater good there.
For the greater good.
And who watches the watchers historically? And again, it's always been illegal to keep data on kids especially. Now they're saying, no, we're going to keep all that data on you. I mean, this is a total authoritarian takeover. I'm sorry. The news is going to be over soon. Live coverage. I'm just too fired up. I'm just too fired up.
We'll see if Obama announces his Orwellian takeover for the greater good in just a few minutes when we do our live coverage of the State of the Regime address. But back to this news. Californians are being asked to allow the authorities 24/7 access to their security cameras. They said, when it's just for the greater good and it's a logical next step. You tend to behave when the cameras are on you. And this is so police can monitor whatever the cameras are trained on. And they say, you just got to trust us so that we're not going to be watching your home 24/7. It's for the greater good so that you'll behave.
Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
See the rest of the nightly news at our sister YouTube channel, The Info Warrior, or become a member of PrisonPlanet.tv and help us take the message of freedom and liberty to the next level. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to this channel.